Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be channeling messages from the spirits of mushrooms, the Fae that are connected with mushroom spirits. Want to come through with messages about renewal, rejuvenation, soul revival, or any transformation that might be happening in your life. If you're going through a time of transformation, then this message is for you. If you work with the realm of the Fae, or if you are just interested in working with fairies or spirits, this is going to be a little bit of an introduction to doing that as well, because I'm getting the feeling that some of you are trying to get into a more magical phase of your life. That was one of the messages that came through very early. So I want to thank you for being here. And, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It does help, but I really just am happy to have you here channeling this energy. And since I am an energy reader, I'm just going to be kind of tapping into spirit and whatever messages want to come through. And since this is general and timeless as well, and there are a lot of you out there, only take what resonates. But the biggest thing that came through immediately, like, first of all, like, it's weird because I work with the Fae, and sometimes there are certain types of fairies that come out during different times of the year. So for me, if there's like a transformation happening, like we just entered into Virgo season, and this is more of a time of grounding, that type of transformation, slowing down, coming out of a very turbulent time. So I literally got this image of a mushroom, and I'm like, oh, that's the first time that's really ever happened to me, that a specific type of energy reached out to me. But I think that it's important because it has to do with grounding, it has to do with stability. And if some of you have been having a hard time with grounding lately or stability, working with certain types of nature spirits, but specifically working with mushroom spirits helps with that type of almost death and rebirth. And when we're talking about death, we're really just talking about like an end of one cycle into another. And this season of transformation has to do with slowing down and taking it easy. Like, take what you learned from what happened in the last season of your life, lay it down the ground, let it fertilize your soil, because that's essentially what mushrooms do. If we look at the life cycle of a mushroom, it's kind of always there underground, and it is born through the death of another plant. And I'm simplifying this. I'm sure there are a lot of you out there who are more experts than I am, but when I'm looking at the essence of that, it really is like recycling and replenishing, because when that mushroom dies, you have like new fertile soil. It is nature's way of almost like detoxifying what we see in the forest out there in the world. And it is a signifier also of decay. And with decay isn't necessarily, there's a lot of potential for new growth to happen, basically. So I'm getting like the light side of this. I'm not getting a lot of dark energy. I'm getting more like there's this calmness that is happening. If you feel like you've been stuck in the mud for a while, like, don't try to push through it. Don't overdo it, because that might be for a reason. If you're going through a phase where it seems like it's long and drawn out, take a second to relax. You might need to learn something where you are before you can move on to where you're going. And that might be a specific message for a few of you as well. Now, some of the spirits that reached out to me were basically saying, if some of you have been having a hard time with either anxiety or the jitters, it might have to do with a certain type of, let's say, sensitivity. If you are upgrading your frequency and transforming, you might be more sensitive to certain foods and chemicals. But specifically, coffee and caffeine might be a trigger for you right now, or if you're already sensitive. One of the things the mushroom spirit suggested is like trying to find an alternative to coffee that has like the same flavor, gives you a certain amount of energy. And one of the suggestions was like chai tea, or like a strong black tea that isn't like as strong as the caffeine in coffee, because there might be certain types of chemicals possibly, or it's just the you needing to wean off caffeine for a while, there was a suggestion, and I'm just take it with a grain of salt. I don't like to always make these suggestions, but there's this thing called mud coffee apparently that is made from mushrooms, and it's non-toxic, and it's the safe kind of thing. Like mushrooms that you put in cooking might also be something like having this closeness to the types of foods that will ground you. And it doesn't have to be mushrooms if you don't like that, but any types of foods like root foods like carrots, like turmeric, putting turmeric into your meals. Like I said, I don't like making those suggestions, but that's kind of what I'm getting is like changing and finding substitutions and alternatives to your diet if you're feeling extra sensitive during this cycle. Because when we transform as both mortal and spiritual beings, it changes kind of who we are. Like it almost gives us genetic changes. And even when we heal from trauma, it changes us on a DNA level. So your new body, your mind and soul need to kind of detox from an old way of doing things and just slowly integrate maybe alternatives. And that's kind of one of the messages coming through. You might have known about this. This is something you might have been working on, because the other thing this realm wants to help you with, the realm of the mushrooms, is to help you with fairy magic as well as just waking up the magician in you. If you've been trying to like delve into that, or just helping with manifestations, because grounding is an important part of manifesting anything into reality. We have to embody that, and that's a skill to learn, to embody and almost be in this energy of feminine passivity of, you put it out there and you do the work to have that happen, to have your manifestations come through to you. But there is still a little bit of like background work, and the universe is kind of a work in progress, and we're all working together. And I'm actually feeling like I'm a little bit more I'm not high anxiety. I feel like I'm high energy. So this might also be something you're dealing with right now, with the frequencies are changing and you don't know what to do with that. And I've kind of sensed this too. Whenever I have a spiritual revival and I transform, there's like this newfound source of energy and I don't know what to do with it. Grounding yourself is going to help a lot. So the other thing I was seeing is the Virgo season is going to be a pivotal time. I'm hearing some of you need to kind of relax. You need this time is for relaxation, to take a little trip for yourself, a little getaway, even if it's on a mini vacation, like the weekend, like go out in the sunshine, slow down. If you've been indoors a lot, if you've been working really hard, like find a way, go outside, touch grass, hug a tree. It really does work. If you are someone who's really connected to nature and something like circumstances in your life have caused you to be a little bit disconnected, because I'm getting the sense that there's a little bit of workaholic, and that's Virgo energy too. I'm feeling some of you might be workaholics, and maybe you couldn't take the summertime off, or whenever you're watching this, because this is timeless. You could be watching this in the winter or before summer where you're doing a lot, because, okay, I'm also getting the feeling this is connected to like November as well. Some of you might be watching this during Scorpio Sagittarius season. Yeah, like don't spend all your time working. You need to find a time to balance your work life and your home life, because it's just going to be good for you in the long run, especially if you're coming into a time where you are manifesting more frequently because you are connected to source, if that makes sense. Um, yeah. So let me see what else. If some of you are going to be starting spell work, this is a very good time in your life to start manifesting certain things that you might have wanted a while ago but weren't ready for. Specifically, manifesting love into your life. This might actually be a good time. I know I'm pausing a lot because a lot is actually coming through and I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Doing spell work and love spell work might actually be good for you during this time, because it is about transforming. what you're transforming into is going to be what you are embodying. And if you're trying to embody the version of you that is in a healthy relationship, now is a good time to start, basically. And this might even happen around October, November, from whenever you're watching this. If you're watching this then, or if this is a few months from now, that is definitely a good time. I'm definitely getting that during the change in seasons throughout the year. Like if you're at an equinox, that is a good time. Or if you're approaching a new moon or a full moon, those are perfect times to start manifesting something new in. But it really just depends on what you're comfortable with and what you flow with. Because for me personally, it's like any time of the year I feel like I need to change. But that's because I have a lot of Scorpio placements, so that's just my natural state. But depending on the type of person you are, your chart, some of the types of methods you use for either channeling or spell work, that is all going to depend. So there is no better time than the present, because even if you're not watching this during any transformational time in the year, you are on a soul level transforming. It's divine timing. It happens when you're ready to. So let's see what other messages we can get from them. So this is what I was picking up on. There is this readiness and eagerness to step into a higher position of spiritual awareness or power. And you don't have to be like working in a spiritual field. This could be in your personal life, because every single one of us on this planet is working together. We are not working alone. It's like we are all collaborating together. Our energy is pulled together and helps reshape the framework of the entire planet. That was something I was reminded of when I had to take time to be alone to myself. And the world sort of was kind of creating the perfect manifestation of hermit mode. It was like I took that as the sign from God that I needed to take a step back and reassess everything, because it was all I really could do. And in that moment, that's when I was either told or I realized that I am actually helping to reshape the world from where I am, no matter where I am, no matter what I think I'm doing to be productive or helping the world or guiding it. Even if I'm interacting with no one but myself and my angels and God, I am already actively a part of this world and manifesting a better and new one. Because if we are working on ourselves and healing, we are saving the planet, because you are clearing out generational karma. You're clearing out old habits. Old habits die hard. It's a lot of hard work. And to be productive is the mindset of a world that is going in a direction of productivity at the expense of our souls. Like there's a difference between going out there and making a difference for others and going out there and working for a machine that is destroying everything and everyone. And that machine is just a mindset. You know, it's a mindset that is built on self-deprecation and not prioritizing the self. And it's not selfish to take care of what you truly believe is worthy of your time and energy. It is not. It is necessary for the universe to keep creating itself, to have each and every soul prioritize its highest good. So keep that in mind. No matter where you are living up to your potential. And there's more you can be doing, yes, all the time, but the world does not get to decide what you can and cannot do with your time. You are a sacred being. Even if you're lying in bed in pain all day, even if you're going out there to a 9-to-5 job and you don't feel like you're doing anything, even if you're out there just riding your bike. See, I got an image of someone riding their bike down a road or down a path in the middle of the woods. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, you're co-creating with the universe, and is coming from a place of love and passion. You are helping the world. And the thing is that we as souls who incarnate, we don't have to freaking help the world. That's not necessary. At the very least, we do no harm to it. So if you can say that you have not done anything to harm yourself or anyone on this planet, intentionally, you are already way ahead of so many people. Because that's the thing, when we are hurt, we don't always know what we are doing, and and when we do these things in our lives and we make mistakes, like it's not always from a place of bad intentions. It's just we are souls learning how to be human beings in this corporeal plane. And like, how do we do that? Like, go out there and be a fun guy. Like, death and rebirth doesn't have to be the scary thing. And falling in love with the part of you that is connected to the skies above and the earth below, and being that bridge of unity, because that's what the high priestess is about, standing in between two realms, above and below. And on high, you understand and you see with clarity the full moon. You see everything is the way it's supposed to be. You get to decide where you're going and what you do with the information of where you came from, the lessons you learned. But you get to decide. And no matter what you decide, you are worthy of existing here, no matter what you do or put into the world. Because chances are you're making it a better place regardless. So I think that is one of the things that you need to know if you are a workaholic, that it's okay to put the pen down, put the book down, shut the computer off, go out into nature. You don't need to be working for a living. You don't have to be in survival mode. Work for yourself. And I'm not saying literally, like if you're working a job and you have to work there and you do enjoy it, you still need to take the time to take care of yourself. Like you can be very well, like in a position where you enjoy what you're doing, but even then you need a break, take time for yourself and, come back to it later. These problems are going to resolve themselves. The more you focus on yourself in this moment and you plan for the future when you can. For some of you, I don't think this has to do with something you're transforming within a career or relationships. It just feels like you're trying to get to a higher level of ascension within yourself and making sense of the world around you and making peace. Because I'm not getting that there's any specific directions other than like, calm down. The world needs you to rest, and the world will see the rest of you once you get your stuff together. So that's kind of one of the first messages coming through. So as I was saying with planning, okay, well I'm just gonna flip these cards over. Yeah, okay. The world as you know it is turning for the better or turning for good. Okay, and now that song from Wicked, because I knew you, I have changed for good. Oh yeah, you did, and that. So I got two musicals coming up. We have Wicked, and then we have Into the Woods, which it usually comes up with this deck specifically because literally this deck is the tarot personification of the musical Into the Woods. I actually have clarifiers. I forgot about. Yeah, no, it's like, don't fight your intuition. Don't fight. Yeah. Okay. Oh, see, this King of Wands likes to come out. So if any of you, and I'm not going to tell you to go back to my prior readings, if any of you have come from those prior readings, hi, nice to see you again. Thank you for tuning in. I really, really love your support because you keep showing up as this King of Wands, if this is you. So you are changing for the better because of the people you knew, even if you had to let go of them. That's like this bittersweet sort of response to you needing to change and move on, and them knowing and understanding you do because of something like outside of your control. Also, like you can't control whether or not people change or come with you, and you can't open people's eyes for them. That has to be a conscious decision, and it's okay to be sad. But this really is kind of clarifying this Five of Wands that, yeah, don't fight yourself when it comes to what you know you need to do to take care of yourself, and trust your wisdom when it comes to, like, listen to your body basically. If you feel like you are going through a time of spiritual upgrades, or at the very least you are maybe even working on yourself emotionally and you are letting go of old habits, like finding ways to integrate like things into your life that don't necessarily replace the old, but are kind of a new addition, let's say. So, like with the whole coffee thing, like finding new beverages to have in the morning instead of coffee that don't affect you the same way. And that's just one example. Um, yeah, because I'm getting this feeling like you're trying to rewire your brain, and your body is going along with it, and then you're reevaluating your place in the world and just trusting your intuition. And as you change within, you're gonna notice a lot of things changing around you, and it has to do with your mindset, not necessarily just your frequency as a person. Because when you change your mind and how you see the world, you're going to notice new and different things. Your attention is going to be drawn in a new direction. And the world doesn't necessarily change along with you. You just change your perception of what it is and focus on new things. Like, if this is a weird example, but this might actually make sense to some of you. If you were hyper fixated on like the color green, let's say, and that's all you ever saw, and it's like there's no other colors but that color. And then one day some awakening experience, whether it's God, whether it's magic happening in your life, exposes you to the color blue or purple. And it's like there's other colors of the rainbow out there. And then you go out there and you see those colors more and more because you're like, oh, I didn't realize that existed. So, I mean, that is a very simplistic way, but that is what happens when you rewire your brain and you do this like weird cognitive overhaul. And yes, while it is true, when we rise in our frequency, we do attract certain things, people, and events. But overall, it's our minds that make it real. It's like the mind has so much power over the body, over what we see in the world. That is kind of what we are going through as a society. When we see it, we cannot unsee it. And when it is done, it cannot be undone. So just know that this season of transformation needs you to be very kind on your body. And if you were kind of drinking way too much coffee because you needed that stimulation to get through your day, there are other ways to do it. Maybe you just need to drink more water, drink some tea, like drink lemon and honey and water or something like that. Like find alternatives to give you that energy boost. Or alternatively, maybe you could ask for reduced hours. Maybe you don't have to push yourself so hard to get work done. Instead of like, changing, your entire lifestyle, change you. Like, why do I even need this in the first place? Do I really need it? Why do I need it? Do I enjoy it? Or does it give me a boost that gets me through the day? And then why do you need to get through the day? And maybe that needs to change as well. Why are you consuming certain things? Why are you doing certain things in work? Is it possible that you don't have to work so hard? You can still have passion and love what you do. Is it possible that you can retrain your brain to figure out, do I work smarter or harder? Just try to find a way in a middle ground, because this just feels like you need to let go or sacrifice something for your physical and mental well-being, because you are becoming a little bit more open and sensitive. And it doesn't mean taking time off. It means managing your hours and how much you put into the work you do, the people you spend time with, and just changing who you are in a weird way, like integrating those new parts of you and then deciding what parts of my lifestyle stay and fall away. And that's a common part of transformation. This feels like this is a tail end of a deeper transformation cycle, though. Some of you have been going through this for a while. It feels a little bit calmer than what I've felt before and what I've seen before, because when we look at this judgment card, one of the things it says in the book, it describes this as literally a vampire taking this woman and turning her for the rest of her life. Like, you can't go back. You are immortal now. So when we talk about transforming certain parts of ourselves and, integrating the shadow work we've done, it's like your shadow is not your enemy. It's a part of you. And you're finding this nice balance between that inner flame, that inner god or goddess in you, and the part of you that is connected to this realm of earth, which is made up of, material things. There is light and shadow here, and the shadow is to be integrated and balanced as a part of you, your wholeness. So this judgment card is telling me like this transformation is going to be for good, maybe not forever, but you're not going to want to go back to the way it was before. You're going to be so enlightened and so, at least at a certain level, spiritually obtaining a sense of enlightenment. You're just not going to see things the same way. It's going to be very illuminating. You're not going to want to do the same things or be with the same people, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you can't see them anymore. It just means that you're going to approach it in a different way. You're going to see it in a new way. And I don't feel any dark emotional attachments. This feels actually calm. Like you're surrendering to the change, because this judgment card is very good. It is actually incredibly good. I am very, very happy for you, actually, that this has changed for the better and for good. You will not want to go back to the way it was before. And I just want to say congratulations to you. But if you ever are walking in nature or walk in the woods and you spot a little mushroom, just, say thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for showing me that, there's something beautiful when it comes to the dying nature and the rebirth happening around us. Because it's so funny. When I started my shadow work journey, I used to really not like mushrooms. I don't know why I was so bitter. It was so really weird. And I thought it had something to do with like this, like dark spirit. Like I viewed dark spirits as being purely evil before I understood that it's like, oh no, we all have that in us. But it just challenging me to see that it's about reintegration. It's about being at home with the self. And now it's like I freaking love mushrooms. Like there was a haters to lovers relationship arc there going on in the background, but that's spiritual transformation. Like you go from hating the shadow to being like, okay, you're here with me, and just fall in love with yourself and life, because there's nothing wrong with your shadow. There's nothing wrong with what's hidden deep within. There's nothing wrong with the death and decay around us. It's part of life. It's beautiful. And when you reshape your vision and your mind to see that as beautiful, everything else around you seems a little bit brighter. And you have a lot more power and control over yourself and how you react to situations. Because this King of Wands is telling me you are back into control of what you decide makes you happy in life, and no one is going to choose that for you. No one's going to hold the candle to you. So you guys are like really amazing, and this is the message from the realm of the mushrooms. They are very chill beings. I would recommend like talking to them, because I'm feeling kind of really relaxed. And it's funny, I'm feeling this combination of hyper and relaxed, but I think that communicating with them is going to help you ground a little. It's going to ground you a little bit more than if you were trying to navigate a lot of this on your own. So, thank you so much once again, dear viewers. I hope this message helped you today, and I wish you the best on your spiritual journey. With all my love, see you in another reading.